Hello, welcome to another live. Here we are. Now we're doing it once a month, not every week, but once a month. Here I am with this space where you can ask all the questions about NLP, numerology, embodiment coaching, all of this wonderful stuff. So if you have any questions, if you have any queries about what to do with anxiety, what to do with feeling like lack of confidence, what to do with different challenges that perhaps you're going through, then this is a space where you can receive some free coaching. Not everyone can afford one-on-one sessions with me, so I offer this space as a place where people can get some support. So first, let's do a check-in. How are you? How's your weekend? How are you doing? How's your heart? Take a moment to breathe in and out wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Just take that moment to connect with the breath, that life within you. And whatever your body's in contact with, whether that's the chair, whether that's standing up, like you got your feet on the ground, whether that's lying down, just notice that support that's there. That so often we're up in the head. I mentioned this many times, but so often we're up in the head and we're not really focusing on what's around us in our environment, and that we don't actually realize that, oh wow, the chair is supporting me, or the ground is supporting me, the bed is supporting me. Like putting that message, that having that meaning attached to it, that meaning that we are being supported, that we are being held, that this can be a very comforting thing, especially as so many people are going through challenging times at the moment. Back to the breath, back to those points of contact, to support. So I thought that this would be a good session to do some creating change cards. Some of you may have these cards already, and some of you may not have these cards. And if you don't, there's a chance to get a message if you want. I will pick 3, and what you can do in your mind is that you can just reflect on, okay, which number do you feel drawn to? And I'll read out the messages for each of these 3 cards. I'll pick them one by one. But now, just thinking about it, you can think, okay, like do I feel drawn to number 1? Do I feel drawn to number 2? Do I feel drawn to number 3? Like, which message is the message for you today? And I'm sure all of them will be useful for most people. But maybe there's one particular message that resonates for you. So let's go with number 1. Let's see. I always pick these at random, so we never know. I don't prepare them beforehand. So it may be a message we've had before, or it may be a new one, because there are many cards here. Okay, message number 1. Okay. Life is not about perfection and a single destination. It's everything else in between, which is actually so much more. So, yeah, what comes up for you when you hear that? Life is not about perfection. It's and not about a single destination. It's everything else in between, which is actually so much more. So often we're focused on the end goal. Obviously, I'm talking generally, but in society, this can be a very common thing, that focused on the end goal, focused on needing to get somewhere. And this has come up actually in conversation when I've been talking to people about my process of growing out the color of the hair, the henna, and embracing my natural color. And yeah, so I've mentioned it to other people, like saying that so often in society there's this wanting to rush, like I need to get from A to B and I need to get there now. And growing out the hair color has been a real process of just being present with change. And yeah, I could just cut my hair short and be done with it. Though I felt that this was a really unique opportunity to be present with change and not to rush through a process of transformation. So this is why I'm being present with the transformation and allowing it to grow out. Maybe I change my mind in a few months, but that's where I am at the moment. And yeah, so this is like something that I've noticed a lot. It's like people are like, oh, like I need to get there. I need to do it quick. I need to get to the end result. And no, when we're with change, when we're present with change, then we gain the gifts from it. Otherwise, we miss a lot of gold. So it's everything else in between that is actually so much more. So life, it's like all those experiences on the journey. It's all the ups and downs. It's like you're walking along this path, and it's not getting to the top of the mountain. Yeah, that can be a wonderful accomplishment, and there can be great views from there, but it's not about only that. It's about that journey and that process. What do you learn along the way? How do you grow along the way? How are you evolving along the way? So yeah, that's card number 1. Let's pick number 2. So did that card resonate for you? Is that reflected in anything in your life at the moment? Card number 2. Let's pick that. Oh, seems to be a day of goals today. Your goal is not the true goal. What are you really looking for underneath? Where do you have that in your life already? So today seems to be all about, so far with the 2 cards that we picked, like not being so focused on an end goal and recognizing that there are gifts along the journey. And also this card that just come up is talking about what are you really looking for underneath? Because often people set a goal. I mean, this is something that as an NLP trainer, like I've heard this so many times, like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want to achieve this. And what happens is that people can get very fixated on the end goal. And yes, we need to have a clear direction or have some kind of idea of where we want to go towards if we want to move forwards. Though it's recognizing that there's actually something underneath. There's always something underneath, because it's not really about the new job. It's not really about the new car. It's not really about the new relationship. It's not really about the money. It's not really about fill in the blank. Of course, all of those things can be wonderful, though there's something else. It's like, what would those give me? Like, often it's a feeling or related to one of the 6 basic human needs of what people are actually really looking for. So it's not actually about the goal. So for example, if we're talking about someone who has a goal that they want to have a new job, so they're looking for a new job, and that's their goal. And it's not really about the new job. It's like, what are they believing that new job will give them? What are they believing that will come in their life and that will change in their life thanks to that new job? So there's many layers to it, and it's exploring that and not being so focused and like fixated on just the title, like on the surface level of the goal, but actually being aware of like what's underneath that. What am I really wanting? Like, what is it really about? That's a great question to ask. What is it really about? What is it really about? And then the last part of the card says, where do you have that in your life already? Often when I've asked this to clients, that they suddenly realize that they have so much of what they want already. And they're so focused on needing more, getting more, like having all these goals and needing to get somewhere. And they forget that they actually already have a lot of what they want, just perhaps in a slightly different way. Maybe not in the way that the ego wants, but there's plenty there that the soul is very happy about and appreciative of. So that's card number 2. Let's do one more. Card number 3. So did that card resonate with you? Card number 2. Does that resonate with you? Is it something that's relevant for you if you pick number 2? Okay, card number 3. Let's see what we get. This is something I posted recently on Instagram. Focus on your strengths and solutions will appear. So whenever we're going through a challenge and there's something going on that's challenging in our life, and then we're just like, oh, I don't know what to do about that. I don't know how to overcome that, or like something's bothering us, something's difficult. Focus on your strengths. Like, what skills do you have? What strengths do you have? And if you're not sure, ask your loved ones. I'm sure they can tell you. So that can be a great practice to like pick 5 loved ones, like friends, family, whoever, that can be honest with you and that they can share what they think your strengths are. And then you have a list of strengths. And then with that, like focus on your strengths and solutions will appear. So whatever the current challenge is, say there's a challenge at work, then how can your strengths help you move through that challenge? Or if it's a challenge with relationship, partner, how can your strengths help you move through that? So for example, one of my strengths is creativity. So you can see behind me all of these paintings. I do love to paint, and this is one of the things that I do. And creativity comes out in many different ways, through dance, through painting, through communication, many different ways. So creativity is a strength. Remembering that whenever I go through challenges, like, okay, how can I think about this challenge in a creative way? Like, what creative solutions can I come up with? Like, brainstorm different ways. Maybe paint emotions when they come up, or do like a creative brainstorm, like put colors there, like make it beautiful, like create it, like make it more of a piece of art, like using our strengths. So those are the 3 cards. I'll repeat them. So we got the first one, which is life is not about perfection and a single destination. It's everything else in between, which is actually so much more. So that card's all about being grateful for the present moment and what's in the present moment. So that's card number 1. Card number 2, your goal is not the true goal. What are you really looking for underneath? Where do you have that in your life already? Like, what are you currently wanting? Like, what's your goal? And what is it really about? What's underneath that? Is there a feeling? Is there a sensation? Is there something that you're looking for? Is it related to one of the 6 basic human needs? So that would be significance, love and belonging, certainty, like a sense of perceived certainty, safety, security, variety, like that sense of adventure, growth, and contribution. Those are the 6 basic human needs. So are you really looking for one of those? If so, which one? And how can you fulfill that? And where do you have that in your life already? There will be some ways. Often it's when we bring awareness to things and become aware and bring some conscious awareness to that we actually fully receive it. Otherwise, we're just overlooking it and not really paying attention. And then we don't fully get that. And then the final card, focus on your strengths and solutions will appear. So that's a great one to remember and to end on. Focus on your strengths. There are many strengths that you have, and those strengths are what can help you through the challenging times. So if you have any questions, pop them in the chat. Even after this live is finished, I do read all the comments and the questions, and I love making this an interactive session. So if you do have any questions, then just pop them in the chat and I will respond when I can. And yeah, this is the chance to get some free coaching. So if you are going through something that's challenging, if you want some insight on how to work through that, then these spaces once a month are here. The next one will be on the 4th of November. So once a month, the first Monday of every month. And then, and then if you want some further support, if you're looking to go into things deeper and really to work through something at depth, then I have one-on-one sessions. So that's available worldwide online. And I've been doing that for the last 12 years. So there's a lot of tools and techniques that I've gathered over the years that can really help support people that are going through times of anxiety, stress, lack of self-esteem, lack of confidence, relationship issues, work issues, even food cravings. Like I've worked with a lot of people to do with food cravings as well. There's many different things that we can look at, and I blend a whole wide range of tools and techniques such as NLP, hypnosis, embodiment coaching, and numerology. So all those things can help create a really wonderful mind, body, soul experience, and going through that and really getting the insights that you need at that time and finding them for you. Like I'm here as a cheerleader to help you find the insights for you, not to give you a list of to-dos. So yeah, if you want some extra support, then just check out my website. All the links are in the description of this video. And if you're in the Barcelona area, coming up next week, we got Women's Circle. So that will be at Artemis Women's Health Centre, and that will be on the 17th of October. So that's a Thursday, 17th at 6:30 until 8:30. And that's going to be an evening all about reparenting the inner child. So reparenting the inner child and really learning how we can bring some tenderness to ourselves. And there'll be some specific NLP questions that I'll bring to the evening where we can reflect on and really get clear on what our inner child is really looking for and how we can fulfill that now as an adult. So it's a really important one. So if this is something you're interested in and you're a woman in Barcelona, you're more than welcome to join us. So that'll be a lovely, nourishing evening in company of women. There'll be drinks and snacks and music and candlelight and a very warm, nourishing space where we can connect in community. And if you're not a woman and you want support about that, that's something that we can do in the one-on-one sessions. So yes, that's coming up. And then also on Friday the 11th, which is this Friday in Vilanova i Geltrú, I have a dance class. So if you're wanting to move your body and to gain insights about how you can move from habit and like repeated patterns to a position of choice and to really get clear on like all the options that are available and to really start moving through into a place of change rather than being stuck in this repeated pattern, then that'll be this Friday. So what I do is I blend numerology with dance and we work on a different number every time. And each number, this is thanks to the work of Pythagoras, that we know that there are different messages through the numbers, and this message can really help us to understand ourselves and reflect on different areas in our life. So this will be this Friday. So just send me a WhatsApp if you want to get more information about that. So that'll be +34 6226 986 73. So dancing this Friday and Women's Circle next week. And one-on-one sessions available anytime. Obviously, within my calendar schedule. So that's coming up. And yeah, and if you want to check out some audios, well, also I'm continuing this autumn to just keep popping new audios on Insight Timer. So you can find me on there and gain some new audios. I just put a couple more just the other week. They went live, and there's a daily practice there, like a short 2-minute practice that can help you come back to center, come back to ground, like a place of groundedness and center. So if ever you're feeling stressed and anxious and overwhelmed, that's a great audio to listen to. And it's only 2 minutes. So it's super short. So that's for free on Insight Timer. The link's in the description. So I'll be back on the 4th of November. Thank you so much for being here. And I'd love to hear your topic requests and questions for next month if you have any particular requests. And I wish you a wonderful month, the rest of this month, October, and I'll see you in November. Much love.